Hello, Foxy listeners, and welcome to this week's episode. We are going completely unscripted, and I'm going to talk to you today about weird places that you can find yourself networking and how to stop taking yourself so seriously from an experience that I had just this week. So let's dive in. Welcome to the Fox Talks Business Podcast. I'm your host, Tanya Fox, money mentor, business coach, and author. If you're a business owner who's been around the block but still feels stuck in the financial fog or hustling without getting real results, well, you're in the right place. Each week, I'm going to dive into money mastery, mindset shifts, and real-world strategies to help you grow and profit sustainably. You're going to hear unfiltered conversations, bold ideas, and practical, proven ways to start growing your business. So if you're ready to break past the plateau, make more, stress less, and have fun doing it, let's dive in. So this week I got selected for jury duty, and I was actually one of the rare people that was really excited about having this opportunity. I was excited to see how the Canadian legal system looked in action. I'm a true crime junkie, so all of that stuff is really interesting to me. But of course, we're a little bit more private in Canada, so a lot of the cases and a lot of the law that I see being practiced is out of the US and Britain. And so what I found really interesting was just kind of going through this whole process. In almost my 49 years of life, I have never once been called for jury duty, which kind of sucked because everybody I know, including one friend who is a new Canadian citizen, has been called before me. So I was like, when will it be my turn? And alas, it popped up. So as I was waiting to be called, and of course, I didn't know what it was for, anything like that. And I was just really feeling like not excited because being there means like a crime happened, but just kind of really being present. And one thing I'm really grateful for is that in Canada, and I'm sure it's like this almost everywhere, you're required to turn your cell phone off when you're in the courtroom, which required me to be absolutely present in every single moment. So we were sitting in the courtroom, and as we were waiting, everybody was out of the room. The lawyers, the judge, and everything had gone to a different courtroom. So we were just all sitting there. And I thought, I'm going to talk to people. And I had met some really amazing people kind of in the waiting room when we were waiting to be called into the courtroom. And I thought, I'm going to network. Like, what a weird place to network. But here is the difference. I wasn't networking to get clients. I wasn't networking to sell something. I wasn't networking to fill my Rolodex more. I was networking purely to remember how amazing it is to learn other people's stories. And that's what I want to talk about today, because so often, and I'm guilty of this too, I get stuck in my head of thinking that networking, the end result is that I want to, have clients and da-da. So I put all of this pressure on myself that a collaboration is going to come out of it, a client is going to come out of it, like something for my business is going to come out of it. Meanwhile, I'm not practicing just the joy of getting to know average people without attaching any strings to them at all, but just learning about their stories. Where do they come from? What do they do? What do they like? What do they dislike? All of those things that you need to learn when you actually want to go and network for potential clients, for selling something, for doing collaborations. And so this was a really good reminder of how important it is to think about your networking in various different ways. One for pleasure and one for business and one for practice. So that's the one that I keep forgetting, because of course you network for pleasure in your ordinary life. You meet new people, you're out with friends, you chat. It's a natural thing that happens. In business, you put yourself in situations where networking is something that you do. You go to a networking event, you join your local chamber, you attend a conference, or you attend a workshop, and it's kind of guaranteed that networking is going to happen there. But the thing that we don't do very often is the practice part of just learning how to be curious again, just learning how to ask questions just because you want to know the answers to them. And I think a lot of the times that's what's missing in networking. That's what's missing in sales these days. We're in such a rush that we're not actually taking the time. And we all know people aren't taking the time because we're not taking the time to get to know somebody, to really understand, do I even want to work with this person? Am I even interested in who this person is and what they represent? So when I was sitting there meeting these people, my only intention was just, can I talk to strangers again? Like, it has been a little bit where I'm in a situation that isn't set up specifically that everybody knows we're here to network. And so I thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to see how many stories I can learn. And so I just asked people, have you ever been called for jury duty before? And people would be like, no, this is my first time, or yeah, but I didn't get picked. One lady had served on a jury about 5 years ago, but the majority of people were like, oh no, this is my first time. And that opened the floodgates for me to be like, oh, this is my first time too. I'm really curious how it all works. And then I would say like, oh, like, what do you do for a living? And then they would tell me, oh, I do this. Oh, wow. So what does that all entail? And these people stalked all of them. Like, there was 5 of them in particular that I will remember that I had really long conversations with and learned really interesting stuff. I met an undertaker, I met a priest, I met an underwater welder, I met a guy who trains show horses, I met a 63-year-old woman who works a graveyard shift in residence for mentally challenged adults. And when I started asking them to tell me more about their jobs and what their experiences were, it was so interesting to see the connections of what everybody felt in their job, to watch them light up when I asked them, oh, when I got really interested and said, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like, underwater welding, like, whatever made you get into that? And to watch them almost relive their excitement for something that I think for a lot of people is just kind of turned into a job. Not once. Well, I did one little time. Somebody asked me what I do, and I told them that I do coaching more around finances for small businesses. And then I turned it around and stopped talking about myself and asked them, but I want to hear more about your job. And then I would ask them questions. Now, I wasn't faking it. I was really interested in all of these different things that were going on in all of these different jobs. And the more interested I became in learning more about what they loved, what they didn't love, some funny stories that they had, the more expression they started to have in telling their stories. And as we were leaving, because the majority of us were also the ones who didn't get chosen, as we were leaving, one of the gentlemen had stopped me and said, hey, I just wanted to say thank you. You really made this a fun experience. And I was really kind of dreading coming today, but I really enjoyed that. So thanks for all the questions. And I was like, you're welcome. And that was it. I didn't take a phone number. I didn't take a name. I didn't share mine. I didn't try to sell anybody. Nothing. I just remembered how fun it was to meet new people, to learn about them, to remind them that at one time, this job that they had picked was really exciting to them, and to really take joy, my own joy, in watching them light up and tell different stories about it. So why am I telling you all of this? Because one of the things that I think people are starving for, and probably you too, is that we've gotten stuck in our elevator pitches. We've gotten stuck in saying the same things over and over and over again to the questions. How are you? Good. I'm fine. How are things going at work? Great. How are you enjoying your work? It's good. Sometimes stressful, but it's good. Like we just have all of these answers that we can just shoot out of our head at all times because it's the standard answer. But we're not really taking the time to truly think about it until somebody actually sits down, shows a lot of interest, and asks us questions that get us out of just spitting out stock answers. And when you can be that person that jars somebody enough to get them out of their stock answers to realize, oh, this person actually does want to know how I am. Oh, this person actually does want to know about what it is that I do. The change when you're paying attention for it is phenomenal. So I want to challenge you today to go and practice networking, not to make a sale, not to talk about yourself. If it comes up, I want you to flip the script and ask them again about themselves and just have fun with it, with no pressure, with no stress, with no outcome other than learning something new that you never knew before. Like, I don't think I knew underwater welding was what it was. Exactly. So learn something new, meet somebody new, and remember that practicing networking is just as important as heading out there to do it just to make the sale. And you might find yourself starting to remember why you liked networking in the first place and why networking can actually be fun to do. So I hope that story inspired you. I hope that you take a moment when the next time you're in the grocery store, ask somebody, oh, do you really like that spaghetti sauce? I'm looking for a new one. What do you like about it? It doesn't have to be about their job or their career. It doesn't have to be something that is going to be a life-changing conversation. Just cause somebody to not have to do this standard smile, this standard I'm fine question, and get them out of that and watch their day absolutely change because you took time to just ask them and truly be interested in what their answer is. And while you're doing this, remember to have fun, because if you're not having fun, why are you doing it?